Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Fire Sprinkler Podcast. I'm Chris Logan. For some reason, we're in Dubai at Intersec 2023. Amazing opportunity to come, and I jumped at it. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thanks for hosting me. Thanks for having me come out here. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm having an absolute great time. Before we kind of get going as to what this show is all about, let's go through the lineup and everybody introduce themselves.
Hey, Chris, FJ Fee, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Business Development and IT for Reliable.
Awesome.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Kevin Fee Jr., Senior Vice President of Corporate Sales. One half of the fourth generation of Fee family ownership, along with this guy.
This guy.
Thanks, Chris. How are you? John McNamara, Senior Vice President, Chief Operating Officer.
Awesome.
Chris, it's Adam Robotham. I'm the Vice President for Reliable Fire Sprinkler. So I'm based in the UK, but I look after the international business. So basically that's everything outside of North and South America. So hence why I'm here today.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks everybody for having me out. What's everybody think of the show so far?
It's good. It's really good. It's been really busy. We came to Intersec last year, and that was the first one. There was COVID was still about,
right.
So it started to leave. There was a lot of people that didn't come, but it was still quite busy last year. This year, clearly, COVID is now past, and it seems that everybody wants to come here at the moment.
Right. COVID's passed as long as you turn your TV off. It's, I still get the notifications on my phone.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's a huge event. I did a walkthrough yesterday where I literally just walked diagonal from one show to the other, touching every one of the halls, and it was 17 and a half minutes of runtime to walk across the venue. It's an amazing show, and it doesn't just span in fire protection, security, life safety in general, a lot of firefighting equipment and stuff like that. So what are your kind of goals when you guys come to an event like this?
I think we haven't been out so much the last few years because of COVID. So this is the first really proper opportunity to see a lot of our customers. So obviously we're here, it's the Middle East, it's Dubai.
Yep.
So we get a lot of people from the region. So we get a lot of people from Saudi, from Kuwait, obviously from UAE, from Egypt, Oman, Jordan, lots of the Middle East countries. But we're getting people from further afield as well. So we get people coming from Europe that want to come to see here. We've got European exhibitors as well. Yep. So everyone wants to come here, and we had a Canadian guy yesterday. You're a Canadian.
There's 3 or 4 of us here actually.
Yeah, exactly. So surprised to see people from
another
further
one
afield as well. So a couple more, we can have a hockey game.
There we go. I'm not opposed to that.
So certainly it's a focus on the Middle East, but certainly people coming from abroad as well, far afield.
Being one of the biggest trade shows in the world, it's a hell of an opportunity to learn something new, to kind of get together with all of your customers and co-conspirators and kind of see what kind of trouble you can get into in the Middle East.
It's a tremendous opportunity for us to, especially coming
pass the mic along. Yeah, sorry.
Tremendous opportunity for us, coming over from the States. We get to see so many of our key customers from across such a wide geography, all in one place. So, great opportunity.
How big are your sales in this area of the world? Like when you compare being a North American company, started out in the U.S. How have you guys grown into this region, like the Middle East, Europe, the UK, things like that?
You want to handle that?
Yeah, sure. I'm not going to give you numbers, but what we say our international presence is now, I've been at Reliable for 10 years. I remember 10 years ago, I came here 10 years ago and we weren't exhibiting. And once I saw the show, or once I saw it about, I said, we really need to exhibit here. And the following year we exhibited, and we've exhibited every year since.
This year, a lot of money.
Yeah, of course, a lot of money. So, and every year we've done something a little bit more, a little bit bigger. This stand's bigger than we've done before. Yeah. And again, we've got this meeting room for customers, have customer meetings, and it's proved really good. Generally, the international business has grown every year for the last 10 years. Certainly, it's grown. The last couple of years have been phenomenal, and all the regions doing really well at the moment. Right. And in particular, I think the Middle East, it's buoyant. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Right. We're doing really well, and we see very good things for this region as a whole for the future as well.
How do you guys do manufacturing in this region, or do you guys import everything from the U.S.?
No, it's all there's no manufacturing here, so we have some distributors here. We have our office. We have our a 3PL, so we have a warehouse.
Yep.
We stock here. You know, one of the only companies that are really holding stock of fire protection stuff in this region, which is good. But everything's manufactured outside, so you know we're looking at Liberty sprinklers, valves, deluge valves, all manufactured there and shipped to this region, shipped to our customers from here.
Awesome. That's good to see everything being kind of still manufactured to us local and then shipped elsewhere. As far as where are you located?
I'm based in the UK, live just outside of London.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to this side of the table yet, so let's keep going here and see what you guys think of the show so far.
You want to go first? Sure, why not?
We can all take turns here.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I don't know if we can hear the dramatic music in the background.
Absolutely, we can hear the dramatic music, but hopefully this overtakes it a
I'm ready
little
for Darth
bit.
Vader or Gladiator walk through the door. But no, I've heard about the show for many years. Obviously, with COVID, haven't been able to make the trip over the last 2 years.
Yep.
So it's great to be here. Great to see, a real variety internationally. And for us at the booth, it's really fun to see a mix of customers and prospects. So just yesterday we talked with multiple customers that have been with us for 40 years and have a tremendous relationship with, and new customers that would like to partner with Reliable and hopefully they'll be with us for 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
From that. And a lot of the message here for us is consistent with what we do domestically. We love to talk about our quality, our service, standing behind our product, and those are some of the values of Reliable. That whether it's in Dubai or back in the States or other parts of the world, or carry right through.
Right.
So we always love talking about that because we take a lot of pride in it.
Well, who doesn't like talking sprinkler?
Yeah, absolutely. Fun to see you here too, by the way.
It's insane. When the opportunity came up, thanks Rex for mentioning it back in November when I talked to you, I kind of breached the subject very carefully to my wife. And then just last week is when I actually said to her, like, hey, I think I'm going to go. And she said the famous words, do what you think. So I've been married 10 years. I've been with my wife for 13. And that was the first time that I challenged that, where the do what you think doesn't mean do what you think. I love you, sweetheart. I mean, here I am. So she can't get mad at me at the other side of the world.
You seem like the hardest working guy at this convention. I see you all over the place. So
If I could give you a hint, I've been married over 40 years.
Yeah.
Two most important things you say, yes, dear, and I'm sorry, you're right.
I did multiple times after I booked the trip.
Good luck. AJ, your words of wisdom.
I think FJ really nailed it. For me, this is my very first time in Dubai for Intersec, and I'm very excited to be here. Up until this point, I handled the Americas, everything really domestic, and as well as Central and South America and Canada as well. So it's very exciting for me to be here. It's a brave new world, and I'm happy to be a part of the experience. This show is massive. I mean, I thought we knew how to do conventions back in North America, but I was seriously mistaken. I mean, this is unbelievable. I haven't been able to get to all the various halls, but I look forward to if I can break away for a little while, I'm doing just that. But it's a real pleasure to be here representing Reliable. And hats off to our international team led by Adam. They do a fantastic job. You can certainly see that when our customers come through the booth. They're on top of it. They genuinely like dealing with us, and it's really all boils down to the leadership of this guy to my left, not you, but him. Never you. It's just a real pleasure to be here, and I look forward to participating in Intersec for many years to come.
Yeah, it's an amazing venue. Like, I haven't walked less than 15 kilometers a day. When I look at my phone at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I'm putting in miles here. But I expect to lose at least 5 pounds when I go home, be a totally different man.
Yeah, you certainly get your steps in, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you guys gotten a chance to tour around to see the culture and the scenes around here?
You mean Right here on the floor, or
Like
or
in Dubai in
in
general?
general?
Yeah.
We walked around a little bit on Sunday, and we went out to the desert and took in a show,
Yep.
and dinner, and rode a camel, and
Rode a camel.
held a falcon on our arms. That was a lot of fun. So yeah.
Holding a falcon isn't something that I usually think about when I think of Dubai, but I mean, awesome.
I didn't either until I turned around and there it was. It was like, would you like to hold this falcon? You always begin conversations that way, but I did, and it was good. And I just find Dubai to be a wonderful city.
It's a weird how kind of safe. Like my hotel's almost 2 kilometers away, and I've walked here every day. I Uber back, but the walk there is I took maybe a road I'm not going to take tomorrow, getting here today, because I just try to explore a little bit, but never uneasy feeling walking around. It's been a very safe and clean.
Very safe, very clean, very family friendly, and just I'm having a blast here. I can't wait to. I haven't even left yet, and I can't wait to come back.
Awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap things up?
Do you want to add anything?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to say something because.
No, we're good.
No, I want to say, it's great to have so many colleagues from the US here. It's really good. I mean,
And Canada.
Yeah, and Canada. It's the international business, our international business is very different. It's very different to the US. And wherever you go, if you go to Europe, you go to the Middle East, you go to the Far East, you go down to Australasia, it's all different. And it's great for the guys in the US and Canada to come here, see the customers and see the different types of customers, different types of people. And, there's a lot of culture issues. There's a lot, things you have to embrace. And that's really good. But you can only really do that by coming here. And seeing it and talking to the people and talking to customers and hopefully maybe do some customer visits and things like this. But yeah, it's really important to come and visit. That's what I get the most out of visiting wherever it is, here, Europe, say the Far East. You have to go to really appreciate it.
So actually, let's talk a little bit about that, like the cultural differences when it comes to, I mean, it doesn't have to be fire protection sales, but sales in general. What are some of the kind of differences as you go across the area that you cover that you have to be aware of? I'm assuming there's not a book that you pick up that says this is how you sell in Dubai.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit. Yeah.
I think the first thing. Yeah, there's so many things. Oh, wow, where to start? Okay, I mean, the big thing is the really simple thing is product.
Right.
So the type of product that's taken in the UK is completely different to France, and even France to Germany is completely different between those two. So even within Europe, the products are different. You come down here, it's a totally different set of products as well. So yeah, some are similar, some match, but there's stuff they take here, but they don't take in other countries. You go to the Far East, it's so for example in the Far East, there's a lot of huge amount of standard response heads. In Europe, we sell very few standard response heads.
Okay.
Here it's obviously you walk around, you see the hotels, everything's concealed. Loads of concealed, so massive concealed market here, not so big in mainland Europe at all. So straight away you have to understand from our perspective as a manufacturer of what products they're taking in what regions, and then we can bring in the correct stock for our customers off the back of that. That just comes from experience.
Now, something that I'm maybe not as familiar with as I should be, being a kind of global podcast now, is the different listings and requirements.
Yep.
Right? Is that something you also have to take into consider? Like, is there a different listing in the Middle East than there is in the UK, in Australia, New Zealand, things like that? Do they all have their individual listing, or do they use North America listing in codes and standards?
Yeah. Again, we deal with many authorities having jurisdictions, AHJs.
Yep.
That's the thing. So I'll give you a few. So yes, FM and UL is held up as one of the highest. That's the one you generally need wherever you are.
Yep.
In crossing Europe, VDS obviously in Germany, but those countries around there, they really look to Germany, the UK, the LPCB. Then you start going out, and those are probably the 4 main ones, and then start to look at the other ones. So in Poland, they have like CMBOB. When you come to this region, they really look for the Middle East. They want FM and UL. They almost say it as one word. It's not FM and UL, it's just FM UL. Yep. It's just like, that's what everyone sees at. But in addition to that, we have to get some local approvals from the AHJ. And so, for example, in Dubai or in the UAE, it's the civil defence. So all of our products there we sell, whether it's our sprinklers, valves or system components, we have to go and get civil defence approval for those items, and that's for this country. And then if you go into Saudi, there's various requirements to get products in there. So actually, our product has to be listed on a government system in order for it to get into the country. So they have their rules there. You go to Qatar, and there's another type of approval there. In Kuwait, it's the police department almost has that looks after the approvals for product coming in there. So in the Middle East in particular, there's a lot of different AHGs that we have to deal with, and then you go outside of that, down in South Africa, there's ASIB, is the authority having down there, so we have to do something different for them. You go to the Far East.
Are you
all sorts
reading
of
these
stuff.
somewhere?
No, it's just, and I think what was really funny you said, Chris, was, is there a book for this?
Yeah.
And that's probably a good idea, actually. I should probably write a book, because unfortunately it is with me. I look after the whole business, so what's good is that I've got individual guys, we've got teams of people, we've got sales guys, but we've got technical guys as well, technical managers all over the world, to support the customers. And it's the sales team, technical guys that understand the requirements for those individual countries,
Right.
So Bid, our sales guy here knows what's going on there. Terence in Singapore, he knows what's going on there, and the countries surrounding it. And obviously that all feeds through to myself, and obviously I have to feed through that to my US colleagues to make sure we've got the right things, the right approvals like that.
So
But
so your bid package is actually something you would have to follow, whereas in Canada and I think North America in general, we still get bid packages that say you have to use a Grinnell or an automatic sprinkler. Which neither of which exist anymore.
Yeah.
Technically, right?
We still see that asked for a lot over here as well.
Yeah.
Brands that don't exist for 10, 15 years plus.
Exactly. Yeah. I get a list where it's 4 sprinklers that haven't been around or have all been acquired by somebody.
But I think let's say some of the basics when you talk about the region, when it comes down to sales, and especially with reliable, the family is important, especially in the Middle East.
Yeah.
There's a lot of family businesses we deal with here. Almost all family businesses, I think, when it comes to it, at the top.
Yep.
So that's good that obviously reliable family business. But it's relationships as well. It's seeing people. Visiting people, talking to people, seeing what the requirements are, and then supporting them, obviously with the sales effort, with a service team, with the engineering backup as well. Maybe in the Middle East, I think our technical manager down here, we've got a dedicated manager, as is Sama. He actually spent 10 years in the US, in the Liberty, in our factory there. For the last 3 or 4 years, he's been here now as a technical manager. So he comes with a really strong background. And our customers in this region in particular love that.
Right.
Huge amount of experience with Reliable in the industry as well. So he really knows what he's talking about. And he speaks, obviously, he's an American, speaks obviously English or American, and he's an Arabic speaker as well, which is obviously really essential for this region that goes down really well.
Just
having
that
sort
relationship as well, right?
Yeah, build up the relationship and enable us to sell into those regions. I mean, I think UAE is pretty good. Yeah, Arabic's great, but there's a lot of English spoken. But once you start going outside, you go to maybe to Saudi, it starts to become a lot more Arabic spoke. And for example, places like Mecca, it's a really big market in Mecca. There's a lot going on there, and obviously he's allowed to travel to that region as well because he's got the right religion.
Right.
So these sort of things are really advantageous for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to?
Just to summarize, I mean, what I find, this is my 4th time coming to Intersec.
To Intersec,
Yeah, what I find real value, 2 things. Number 1, meeting with our customers face to face, hearing their challenges, hearing some of the things they may want, ideas for new products that will come out of these meetings, but also hearing the challenges, time difference, culture difference. There's so many components, and you can really only understand that with face-to-face meetings.
Right.
And then also meeting with our team, our international team, and really, being here with a 9-hour time difference, for example, some of the struggles that they have with a very small window of opportunity to communicate directly with us in the United States. So you get a better appreciation for all of the challenges that are faced, and that helps us.
I mean, I'm having a hard time just communicating with my kids, right? I can't imagine trying to run business,
Exactly
right? I mean, they're not going to answer the phone when I call anyways, but I mean, it gets a little more important when somebody's trying to call for technical service and the place is a 9-hour time difference.
And it's things but when you come over here and you're living it, it gives you a better appreciation for, okay, you have to be available.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's good.
Awesome.
Just real quick, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Adam was saying.
Yeah.
A few years back, we had a sales meetings in Liberty, South Carolina, which is where we're based. And we brought the entire sales team from all over the world to meet together for 3 days of meetings. And during those meetings, Adam and I each did a presentation. And I'll never forget, Adam started speaking about many of the things we were just discussing earlier about the various challenges and all the different aspects of selling internationally. And I'll never forget, at the end of his presentation, there was just crickets, absolute silence. And it wasn't because he did a bad job in his presentation. He did an excellent job, as a matter of fact. It was just, on the domestic side, everybody was floored with the difficulties that he and his team deal with on a day-to-day basis because of all the cultures, because of all the different codes. I mean, one country is different from the next, and we're talking a whole ton of countries in the Eastern Hemisphere. And so basically after that happened, I looked to my team at the time, and I said, I want you to keep this in mind. Every time you start bitching to me about the various challenges.
Right.
It's a family show.
Yeah. A lot of people watch.
It just became PG-13, but no, it's a true testament to what Adam and his team does, and it's they do it very well, and we're going to continue to succeed on the international
Absolutely.
scale.
Yeah, I'd say with all the complexity and differences across cultures and markets and geography, it is nice to see that there is a commonality that I've picked up on, and that's the pride everyone takes in this industry.
Absolutely.
And it does have a sort of a family feel to it. People take a lot of rightful pride in protecting lives and property and bringing very important product to market. And so that's something that is a value across most people you'll see here, regardless of where they're coming from.
Yeah, in the sprinkler market, everybody here is there's nobody that's halfway in. Everybody is either I'm a sprinkler fitter 24 hours a day. It's not, for the most part in this industry, it's not like a 7 to 4, 7 to 5, 9 to 5 job. If you're in it, you're in and that's why I got a podcast, right? It's people are still going to listen to it even though they're not at work, right? People are constantly going to be looking up stuff. They're going to be posting on social media. They're going to be reading social media, trying to find better ways to protect property and life. It's similar. It's similar in the pride that everybody finds in the military and firefighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. You're still protecting. You're not front line, but you're protecting property and life. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks everybody for the opportunity. Thanks for bringing me in here. This has been an amazing trip, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
This episode of the Fire Sprinkler Podcast is brought to you by the Laying It Down for Camp Bucko fundraiser being put on by the Fire Sprinkler Podcast. With local partners Wallace Kent Sprinkler, Troy Life and Fire Safety, Greater Toronto Fire Protection, Lamsar, and Joseph Hullage, with major provider of the fire hoses being brought to you by the Toronto Community Housing, we are well over the 63 kilometers required to break the world record. We're putting off the world record attempt until spring to allow for more donations to come in. www.firesprinklerpodcast.com for more information on how you can donate. Camp Bucko is the burn camp for kids of Ontario. It's open to burn survivors between the ages of 7 and 17. The camp has grown to over 70 children attending the week-long camp in August. There's no fee to attend Camp Bucko, and we'd like to keep it that way. Hoses are $20 a length to sponsor right now. All proceeds going to Camp Bucko. Thanks for your support.